in the world does a bulimic, alcoholic woman end up publishing a book about style and manners?
You guys, I'm here with Laura Martella.
Author Laura Martella is here.
Meet Gentleman Norman and Laura Martella.
And become a leading clean food expert, teaching people to change their lives through the food they eat. My answer?
Still. You see me fly, you know they'll never catch me for it. See me fly, the way I put my finger on it. See me fly, you got it.
It's the power of God's grace.
The wrong guy.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the Laura Martella Show. We always talk about health, hope, and gratitude. And today, I cannot wait to just share my master's experience last week and how I am able to be a house guest and still eat clean, and also how I travel and still eat clean. I can go anywhere, anytime, and not have a dang preservative. And you can too. So first of all, you guys, the Masters, it's incredible. I don't even know how to explain. I'm a Georgia girl. I'm so glad that I got to go to the Masters. My ex-husband, Mike Martella, was a big-time golfer. And I mean, the Golf Channel was always on. And by the way, some of you know Mike Martella is in heaven. And I could just feel him like, yeah, Laura, you're at the Masters. I love him so much. And I know that he would just be thrilled for me. So I've seen the Masters. I actually love the Golf Channel because, and I'm not someone that can tolerate the TV on all the time. It just, to me, open living, I don't want it. I want the guy watching TV in another room. But Golf Channel, I love. I love to hear the backstories about the players. I love the beautiful scenery. It just doesn't get on my last nerve. So I'm used to seeing golf. But to be there in person, okay. Lived in California 20 years. California is a beautiful state. I have never in my life seen anything as beautiful. Well, that the south of France, maybe, but in the United States, those magnolia trees, all of the trees, I didn't even know. I was saying, what are these trees? The grass looked like and felt like carpet, and the azaleas, and we're really big on pine islands here and pine straw. Beautiful, absolutely perfect. So I was walking in. This is, I say this a lot to my clients. I say this to newly recovering alcoholics if I'm helping them. We do not know what is right around the corner. We do not know what God is doing, but we do know because the Bible says God never stops working. So what I say to new people who are struggling to stay sober, I've used this a lot. I say, we don't know what's right around the corner if we just stay sober. If we're going through stuff, if we just stay sober. So for me, I didn't know what was right around the corner just in my life. I was walking into the Masters with my friend, and I said, I swear to you, 6 weeks ago, this was not even on my radar. And then here we are. It was a blast. So another thing, I don't know which impressed me more. Obviously the players, y'all, but we can talk a little bit about that in a second. But here's the thing. It was the beauty of the course, amazing. And then what I cannot get over is the crowd. It was very crowded. Alcohol is served. I did not see one intoxicated person in that huge crowd. And you know, people want to see. You want, you know, like a front row if you can. But people were so polite. And I heard one F word, and his friend shushed him and said, "We don't do that." And y'all, I love that. I say this a lot, but being back to my Georgia roots, being back around Christians, I don't like to hear the F word. I don't like to hear cussing. And I have a lot of California friends whom I love dearly. And sometimes I say, "Hey, I've got you on speaker. I'm walking Norman. Watch your language." Or I'm at a coffee shop outside and just letting you know you're on speaker, so watch your language. And look, I want to say this. I went through a phase in LA where I thought it was cute. You know, I tried kind of being not refined and not being on brand with the book I published. And I'm just so glad. I think when you're really close to God and you want to please him and respect him and honor him, I don't even have to try. It's just like, I don't know, Wayne, is that the Holy Spirit? It's just the Holy Spirit in my soul. It's not hard to not cuss. I just don't feel like it. So anyway, no judgment on anyone, but I just want to say that I noticed how well behaved everyone was. And I want to read you something that is in the program. Oh, by the way, I've got my little handbook, the 88th Masters. And I am not one to keep clutter around the house, but this is going in my bookshelf. I'm so grateful I got to experience it. All right, let me read to you what is literally in the program, where they're talking about all the players and what number they are and what their background is and all the stuff that you need to know that you carry around when you're there. This is actually in the program. Etiquette. This is in quotes. In golf, customs of etiquette and decorum are just as important as rules governing play. It is appropriate for spectators to applaud successful strokes in proportion to difficulty, but excessive demonstrations by a player or his partisans are not proper because of the possible effect upon other competitors. Isn't that great? The players so well behaved and respectful of one another. And then it goes on to say, most distressing to those who love the game of golf is the applauding or cheering of misplays or misfortunes of a player. Such occurrences have been rare at the Masters, but we must eliminate them entirely if our patrons are to continue to merit their reputation as the most knowledgeable and considerate in the world. And Bobby Jones wrote that April 1967. He is the president in perpetuity Augusta National Golf Club. Love it. And I'm going to say the patrons did not disappoint. I'm going to bring this up in case I forget it later when I get into, how I am a house guest and how what I ate at the Masters and how I deal with events. But okay, my entire life, I have heard about the pimento cheese sandwiches. Have you heard about them? Have you heard about them, Wayne? Okay. Well, I mean, it's the Masters, it's Augusta National. I was thinking that the pimento cheese sandwiches might be on like a beautiful kind of bread cut in triangles with the crust cut off. No, no, no. The pimento cheese sandwiches, and they have egg salad sandwiches, are on white bread, y'all. I did not partake. They're on because no bite of food is worth me getting a migraine. So let me say this. No one needs to ever be as cautious or careful as I am about getting chemicals and preservatives. I'm just avoiding migraines. So what I would tell my clients and what I would tell you is if you are at the Masters and you actually want a pimento cheese sandwich on white bread, go for it. I teach my clients it's more about 80-20. 80% of the time, do your best. 20% of the time, you've got to live, okay? So anyway, back to these sandwiches. It looks like something that you would take to school when you grew up like I did in the 70s and 80s. So white bread, it was not cut in half. It's just a big 2 pieces of white bread and pimento cheese wrapped in cellophane in an old-fashioned lunch bag. And guess how much they cost? $1.50. My friend told me all these years, and he's been to the Masters like every year, they've never raised their prices. So, okay, pimento cheese, egg salad. All right. So what I do before any event, remember, I have been eating clean for over 10 years, and I got into this because I was having migraines, bloating. I had extreme rosacea, redness, and acne. Even though I took care of my skin, I had regular facials. I finally ended up, you all know this, but for anybody new, I ended up going to see a doctor, and thank God he was the functional medicine doctor who didn't want to just give me a migraine pill. Turns out I have severe food allergies, and I actually am so glad that I have these allergies. And I was thinking this morning, God, I mean, everything that I've had to give up in my life actually made me healthier. Giving up alcohol and learning how to live, how to use tools of living and communicating instead of numbing with alcohol. And then, now with all these food allergies, it makes me healthier. It's funny, and maybe God, and I believe he is, using me to help encourage you guys to not ingest all these chemicals and to learn about ingredients and to learn about just taking good care of yourself and simple food prepping. So I've been doing this a long time. This is what I do before I go to weddings, before I go to networking events, before I go to parties, before I go to sporting events. First and foremost, I eat before I go. So I will not walk into a place being hungry. What I teach my clients is make sure that you fill yourself up with protein and a good fat before going anywhere so that you don't have a food emergency. Okay? A food emergency, what I consider a food emergency is letting yourself get too hungry, not eating at regular times, not having healthy snacks. and you show up starving and you will just eat anything that you can get your hands on, and you will eat too much of it. So it's so important to eat before you go to events. I eat all kinds of animal protein, sauteed shrimp, pan sauteed fish, steak. My go-to, most of you know because I show it on my Instagram, my little burger bites that are my travel food. They're my emergency food. And what did I eat? What I ate before I went, we had grilled some steaks the night before. So I made a salad with an entire filet, cold. I love cold steak, and put some leftover roasted vegetables in it. So I had already eaten before I got there. But here's the thing, y'all. People want to help you. If you ask your friends and family for support and let them know that you have committed to eating clean, don't try to force your new way of living onto them. Stay in your own lane. Just say what you're doing for yourself. And you will not believe the ripple effect when you start taking care of yourself. But what I did, my friend helped me. I don't know if I should say this on camera in case we go back next year. I snuck in a couple of my little burger bites. You're not supposed to take in food. I knew that I couldn't eat anything there. So if they saw and didn't want me to take them in, I would have probably had a couple right before walking in, and then I would have been done with food for the day. So when we get back, we're going to take a quick break, and I am going to talk to you about how to be a good house guest and still eat the way you want to eat. It is doable. It is possible. Stay tuned. As your clean food expert, I am here to tell you that hunger is never a part of getting healthy. It is time to stop dieting and start eating. Okay, y'all, I'm going to talk about how to be a good house guest and eat whatever you want, but I forgot when I was talking about the masters. Okay, guess what? Amen Corner. Whoa. It was so beautiful. And we sat in the stands at, I forget which hole, for a little while, but then we just walked. And when Scotty Scheffler was at the 14th hole, we were standing in the front. He was so close. Saw him. It was amazing. And then a little bit after that, we were walking, and I don't know if you saw, but did you see when La Chambeau needed to go up to the Pine Island and they were moving the lines back? We were right there in the front, and I am not kidding you. La Chambeau was where Wayne is sitting right now. I mean, I saw his skin. He has a really good skin. And this is the thing that I was so impressed about is it was so quiet. People are so well behaved. It blows me away. It's a Georgia thing, perhaps. I mean, it is the epitome of Southern charm and sophistication. Also, I do know there are officials throughout that crowd, and they do not hesitate to remove you if you are obnoxious. And I was talking to some people about this last night at dinner, about how impressed I was about the behavior. If you are asked to leave the Masters, you are never allowed back, ever. So maybe that's another, I think that's great. I mean, I don't think misbehavior should be tolerated. So I love that. Okay, anyway, so that's etiquette, that's common courtesies and kindness. And in case you don't know, if you're new here or if you forgot, in 2012, I actually published a coffee table book about style and manners. It launched at Neiman Marcus. And here's the thing, I didn't know when I was producing it that it was a nod to my Southern roots. But on one of my television interviews, a guy, an anchor, said, "This is a nod to your Southern roots." And I was like, "You're right. It actually is." So, with that being said, I consider myself an authority. Authority is too strong of a word, but I can help you politely navigate taking care of yourself in situations where you want to eat differently. And there is a nice way of asserting yourself. If you're invited to dinner, or if you're at a function, or if you're out to dinner, there are appropriate, polite ways to take care of yourself. And I have found, I've had clients in California and Atlanta and clients here on St. Simon's Island. And I do know it's in our DNA as Southern women. We usually don't want to bother anybody. And we'll do that at the risk of maybe inconveniencing ourselves or hurting ourselves. And I want to empower you and encourage you that you're in charge of you, and use your voice and speak up politely, okay? So here's what I do if I'm a house guest. And remember, I've done this for years. First of all, is I have a conversation with the host and let them know. And I always say, I don't want to impose my restrictions on you or any other guests. So I just want to let you know what I eat. And I may bring some of my own stuff so that you don't feel that you have to cater to me. And I don't like to make a big deal of it at the table, whether I'm going out to dinner or whether I'm at a dinner. Y'all, I have not had one person say, "Well, then just don't come." Think about it. If you're hosting a dinner and you have a guest with dietary restrictions, whether it's allergies or preferences, you want to accommodate if you can. But I do think it's up to us to make sure that we don't impose on them. So when I am a house guest, okay, I show up with my own nut butter that I know is a clean brand. I show up with my clean brand of rice cakes. That's my breakfast if there are no other options. I let them know that I can't have, and most everybody has got extra virgin olive oil in their kitchen. And since I'm not a big drinker, I never bring a bottle of wine as a hostess gift. Bring a nice bottle of extra virgin olive oil or a great bottle of balsamic vinegar. It's a great hostess gift. So I let them know ahead of time, and I do my lemon water first thing every morning, and I made it for everyone else that was staying. I said, "Hey, I drink lemon water first thing in the morning. Would you like some?" So everyone that was a guest there was having lemon water first thing in the morning. And then some other people just came for dinner. We had a completely preservative-free, chemical-free, delicious dinner, and we didn't even announce it. Like I said earlier, so we grilled a lot of steaks. We had steamed broccoli. I made a delicious salad with just, I love the red Bibb lettuce. You know, it's got different colors and it's crunchy. So, Bibb lettuce, chopped walnuts, because you want some crunch in a salad, but not croutons. They are full of chemicals. So, I put chopped walnuts. Of course, I asked everybody else what they liked, if they had any allergies. I put chopped walnuts, cucumbers, and little cherry tomatoes. Norman is snoring. Can you hear it, Wayne? Okay, sorry. And the dressing that I always use, I just olive oil, balsamic vinegar, salt, and pepper. And the key to that is to toss it, not just put it on individual plates. The dressing mixes better if you toss the entire salad in this right before you serve it. So that was a simple dinner, delicious, filling. And then somebody had brought cheesecake, chocolate, whatever. Whoever wants to eat dessert, they had it. But I also had on hand my favorite frozen ice cream that's not even ice cream. It's called Cotto ice cream. It's avocado based. It's the only frozen treat that I know of that even vegan ice creams, y'all, have so many chemicals in them. This brand actually has no preservatives. It's creamy, just like ice cream because of the avocados, but it doesn't taste like avocados. Don't go crazy on it, though, if you're trying to really get healthy and lose weight, because it does have sugar. And I just think sugar man, you're never satisfied. If you eat a lot of sugar, sugar just makes you crave more sugar. So anyway, sorry to go on that little tirade, but a little sugar, we all need a treat, just not a ton of sugar. So that's how we ate. And what else? So I went grocery shopping while I was there. I ended up making my eggs every morning. I showed up with my little burger bites. Another night, we didn't even go out to dinner because Augusta is packed during the Masters. So another night we grilled halibut and in olive oil, salt, and pepper. Had what did we have? Steamed asparagus, olive oil, salt, and pepper. Eating clean is not complicated. The food industry is complicated. The food industry makes it difficult to go out to dinner and to grocery shop. But if you are eating at home, it's not complicated. It's super simple. It's super flavorful. On that note, I want to say I posted this a long time ago. I was going back on my Instagram. Here's the thing. We make health too complicated. It's not about fit teas, packaged bars, shakes, protein powders. We don't need to know. We don't need to have the latest 10 health apps on our phone. You don't need to take every new supplement that's on the market. Health is simple, not easy. And I blame the food industry for that. But here's what we need to get healthy. I don't want you to overcomplicate things. And by the way, if you can do this on your own, do it. But the reason why I feel I have job security is because it is hard to change something you've done 3 times a day since the day you were born. Here's the simple list: eat whole foods, sleep 7 to 8 hours a night, get some sunshine, start going on walks, exercise, drink your water, and retrain your brain to think positively. And the way that I retrain my brain is I trick it. No matter what I'm thinking when I wake up in the morning, 9 times out of 10, I say to my little Pomeranian Norman, "It's going to be a great day, Norman." And I believe words are powerful. So a positive mindset in the morning. And then here's the deal, y'all. Who you hang out with. You need some positive peer groups. And this is what I tell my clients, and this is how I live. Y'all, you have got to hang around with people that understand why you're in workout clothes all the time. It comes down to, do I have an hour to do hair and makeup and put on a cute outfit? Or do I have an hour to go to the gym and blow dry the sweat out of my hair and then show up? Thank God for cute workout clothes. So those are just simple ways to get healthy. You don't need to overcomplicate it. What in the world is a clean food expert, and why do you need me? Well, in today's information overload, I am going to help you learn how to decipher misleading food labels, not the marketing buzzwords that get you to buy the product, but I will leave your home with clean food brands, simple food prepping recipes, and I'm going to back it up with daily accountability and weekly sessions with me. I've got your back. Welcome back. Hey, can you guys do me a favor? Please subscribe on YouTube. And I need to tell you this. I was censored on Meta, on Instagram and Facebook, because of some of my political posts. And Wayne is in communication with them and rectifying it. And I just want you to know, I just reshare stories. I never make up my own political stuff. I just usually reshare conservative news, but I'm not going to do that as much anymore because that's not my message. I mean, I certainly care about what's going on, but my energy is best used being clean food expert and accountability and a little Bible, a little hope, a little health. So I apologize. But it wasn't, I don't think it was anything that they said it was. We are being watched, and I believe we're being censored. So my friends, y'all, please reshare my reels on your Instagram and your Facebook, because the way it is now, people who aren't already following me are not going to see my content. And I am actually investing in the podcast and in social media to get my message out. You will be helping me so much. If you actually like what I'm saying, please share it with your followers. Thank you so much. All right, I am going to talk about, I'm getting ready. Tomorrow, I'm going down to a conference in Orlando. It's in the recovery industry. I am a certified recovery coach, and I'm so excited to meet some new people. My girlfriend's company is actually sponsoring me to go. If you're starting a business, I just want to say this. Let your friends know and ask your friends for help. I met with my friend a couple of months ago, and I so respect her as a businesswoman. And I said, I want to get your input on what I'm doing. And she said, come to this conference and my company will sponsor you. So what I've learned is if you cannot ask, then you can't have it. You got to have the courage to ask. Okay. Little seed there. So how do I travel? So fortunately, this trip, it's a very nice hotel. I am so impressed. And it is true, the nicer the hotels, the more they are about customer service, the more they can accommodate you with food allergies. So I called ahead. You've always got to call ahead, y'all. And spoke to the property. They have a protocol in place for food allergies that is so impressive. If there are food allergies, the management takes over, and they have a separate kitchen for food sensitivities, so you don't have to worry about cross contamination, and only management is allowed in that kitchen. So I was like, you totally made my entire week, because I really was struggling with some anxiety about being at a conference and how am I going to take care of myself. And so anyway, I was relieved about that. And I reached out to the person that's putting on the conference to find out if they're serving food, within the conference, so that I could take care of myself. And I said in the email, I don't want any special accommodations. I just want to know what you're serving so I can know if I can eat it. And I can always run out to a restaurant within the conference center, grab something I know I can eat, and come back in. I never, ever want to impose upon people, but I do want to take care of myself. So I had that communication. And here's what I do when I'm going to a hotel. Just kind of like I did with being a house guest, I am bringing my nut butter and rice cakes. I have healthy snacks like my grain-free chips and my some nuts, some almonds or some walnuts. And I always show up. I bring my own big bottles of water, like a 6-pack from the grocery store, because I want to stay hydrated while I'm traveling. I want to stay hydrated while I'm sitting in a conference for hours at a time. I have my nuts with me during the conference because I don't want to get too hungry. And going to travel with some roasted vegetables and burger bites. And I've called the hotel and asked them if my room has a refrigerator. So a lot of times I'll empty out the mini bar and I just need room for my refrigerated items. And I always bring workout clothes because I am going to work out while I travel. I work out for my mental health. If you're staying at a hotel that is, not 5-star or 4-star, say that you're staying at like a Residence Inn or a Marriott Courtyard or something like that. And if they have a breakfast buffet, now remember, you don't have to be as careful as I am because I'm avoiding a migraine. But I would ask them if they can boil some eggs for you for the next day, if they could just have some hard-boiled eggs for you. And I recommend also you can travel with your hard-boiled eggs. Those are a great healthy snack. Ask the servers at the hotel if they can do that for you. I do not recommend breakfast meats, whether it's bacon, sausage, y'all, they're full of chemicals. They're full of nitrates. don't eat them. Oatmeal would be a decent choice because it's going to be filling, but fill up on fruit. If they have scrambled eggs or whatever kind of eggs, I would do eggs. My preference would be the hard-boiled eggs if they will do that for you. Y'all, if you know me at all, I am telling you, you know this. Don't eat the cereal. Do not eat boxed cereal of any kind. It's sugar. It's sugar. If you know of a cereal that's just the flakes, let me know so I can recommend it. I don't know everything. I learn all the time, okay? What else can you eat if you're not staying? Bring as much of your food as you can. I know if you're like traveling with kids and you're on a road trip, I guess bring as much food as you can. Have picnics. Try to avoid fast food at all costs. Just try to avoid fast food at all costs. There's nothing good there. And you need your protein. I don't recommend any protein from any fast food restaurant because it's full of chemicals. I'm just being honest. You may have to take your time at exits and find like a little diner that's not a franchise. Did I say bring your own food? Bring those nut butters, bring those rice cakes, bring your prepared meats. Go to a grocery store and buy fresh fruit, and a rotisserie chicken is a better call than fast food. Bananas are great to travel with. When there is a will, there is a way. I promise you. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, if there's room service where you're staying, I always ask them to bring a pitcher of water and sliced lemons so that I can do my lemon water first thing in the morning. If I can't do lemon water first thing in the morning, I just make sure that I just drink down at least 8 ounces of water before I have coffee. I still always, whether I'm traveling anywhere, even if I have an early morning flight, like super early morning flight, I get up early enough to spend time with God, to spend time with myself, to get centered. And of course, that's important for those of us in recovery. And as Christians, we want to, read our daily devotionals. But in terms of getting healthy and making healthy food choices, I've said this, I'm going to say it again. If you ask God in the morning to help you make healthy choices, to be with you throughout the day, He's going to help you. He can help you more than I can as a clean food expert. So spend that time. The key to a good day is getting up early, getting centered, spending time with God. And here's the thing about emotional eating and overeating. If we don't give ourselves some alone time, some quiet time to process our emotions on a daily basis, they will come out sideways in the form of overeating, overdrinking, yelling at your kids, road rage. It is so important to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? Are you angry? Do you have a resentment? Do you have a part in that? Can you gather up a spirit of forgiveness? Do you owe an amends? Are you afraid? Are you worried? Give it to God. Give it to God. Give it to God. Wayne, is there anything else you want to know about traveling, the Masters? What? Anything I've left out? It was amazing. Amazing. Oh, everyone. Oh, you will see everything there. Like I wore, like little golf skirts but I saw a girl in a green Chanel jacket with white jeans, no high heels or anything like that, but I love to people watch. Just everyone looked classy. It was so much fun. So much fun. That's all I have. I want you all to have a happy and a healthy week. Safe travels. We're coming up on vacation times. You can stay healthy and travel. If I can do it, you can do it.
Never catch me for it. See me fly the way I put my finger